What's happening, guys? For more than a year we've been speculating about the Amazing Spider-Man 1 post-credit scene and its mysterious character who appeared in Connor's prison cell just as quick as he vanished. Man in the Shadows is still probably the biggest mystery about Mark Webb's Spider-Man franchise. A lot of fans managed to come up with some interesting theories as to who it might be, such as Man in the Shadows might be a chameleon, who took the shape of this old man, or Quentin Beck, due to the fact that he used some of his crazy tricks and managed to appear in cell out of nowhere, followed by a couple of lightning bolts, to make his magic show-like appearance even more spectacular. Now, before it was announced that Jamie Foxx will play Electro, people had this theory that Man in the Shadows might be Electro after all. And of course, there was a theory that he's Norman Osborn. Now, first of all, in the early comics, Norman basically was Man in the Shadows at some point in the storyline. He had this hat, and basically he was this mysterious man who we had no idea about until we found out his real identity. He didn't have his costume, neither his glider, yet his appearance as the mysterious man was still pretty damn scary. And of course, after Chris Cooper's casting news hit the web, this rumor was pretty much debunked. Now, many fans have speculated that this character might also be Doc Ock, Michael Morbius, Demogoblin, Kane, Jekyll, or even Richard Parker himself, who is actually alive. The fact that he's playing some of those characters is very unlikely, and the reason is, you see, there's another bad guy from Spider-Man's universe. He's not a very mainstream villain, yet he's very mysterious, and he's the one who back in March 1999 managed to form his version of the Sinister Six. His name is Gustav Fierce, also known as the Gentleman. The Gentleman doesn't have any superpowers, however, he's pretty damn rich and has a lot of connections to numerous criminal organizations. Now, first of all, let's go through the visual look of the character. The Gentleman is described as an old man with grey hair who looks very elegant, yet despite his old age, he is still physically and mentally fit. Michael Massey in the post-credit scene falls under this description just perfectly. Now let's talk about Gentleman's motives and Sinister Six. In the original comics, Gentleman managed to form his version of the Sinister Six, which included such villains as Chameleon, Doc Ock, Electro, Mysterio, and Vulture. Now, just recently in an interview with Clever Movies, Roberto Orci confirmed that in order to show a Sinister Six in Mark Webb's franchise, they need to set up it very carefully. And he kinda gave us a clue that we might see the appearance of the Sinister Six in the fourth movie, which will be released in 2018. Now, this once again supports a theory that Massey is Gentleman. And guess what? Eventually he will be the one to form Sinister Six, right after the death of Gwen Stacy's story arc. Now here's a big one. Gentleman personally knew Richard and Mary Parker, who play a major part in Mark Webb's Spider-Man franchise. At some point in the comics storyline, Gentleman learned that Richard and Mary Parker were American spies, who messed up his mysterious plans. Now, the Gentleman made a promise that he will have his revenge on their son, Peter, once he will get old enough to appreciate it.
Did you tell the boy the truth about his father? No. Well, that's very good.
Later on, Gentleman was the one to sabotage a plane with Richard and Mary Parker aboard of it. And guess what? We do know that the Amazing Spider-Man 2 will have a plane crash scene, which involves Richard and Mary Parker. And there's a huge chance that this scene will be an opening scene in the movie, presented as a flashback. Now, as you can see, it's pretty clear that the Man in the Shadows is in fact the Gentleman, and frankly, Mark Webb did some amazing job by giving us such a great, mysterious character, and we are still yet to see what he's capable of. Anyway, let me know what you guys think, and I'm off.